Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership and Success Coaching and another one of our YouTube live sessions. I know we've got different people tuning in today from lots of different places. We've got Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia. I don't know where else, but I know those countries are definitely on, and I'm sure some more of you will come on later on. Today, before we get started on something that's very interesting, just want to do some maybe logistics. I know a lot of you have subscribed to the channel, but if you've not subscribed to the channel, you can go ahead and subscribe on the channel after this. Just one thing I want to, just remind everybody. Right next to the subscribe button, that is a bell icon. I think previously I've not said that before. So if you've not clicked on the bell icon, you should go ahead and click on it. What that means is that every time new videos are being released or there's live sessions, you will get an immediate notification to say, hey, there's a live session on now, or the new video is being released. So you won't miss out on these videos. That's all. So if you've not clicked on the bell icon, please go ahead and click on the bell icon. All right. That is it. Today, I want to talk about this. Let me see. 6 things that you should be working on every day to have a wonderful life, right? Okay, I know it's a slight deviation. Well, it's not actually a deviation. It's a slight deviation from what we usually talk about, which is like sales training, leadership training, success training. So from the sound of it, I'm sorry, this is, I'm trying to see if I can, let me just flip that around. Maybe that's easier, huh? Yeah. Now, it's not a deviation from that. It's just from the name. It's like, maybe this is something different. But actually, it has a lot to do with leadership. It has a lot to do with success. Because this is about you. Okay, so back to me. All right. And, there you go. If you've not connected, that's my social media link. All right, let's get started. Okay. Point number 1. The first thing you want to work on, and I think it's probably the most important thing, is this. I'm sorry I have to keep flipping back and forth because YouTube doesn't, for some reason, they can't do this. Is your health. That's the first thing you want to be working on every single day, right? So this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about all the things that, every day when you wake up, like today, for example, we can start from today, but tomorrow and every other day, these are the 6 things that you should say, hey, you know what, have I done these things? Sort of like a mini checklist to help yourself. So the first thing is your health. Why do I say that? Because your health is your wealth. I know people hear that a lot. It sounds a bit cliche, but it's true. Because what's the point of having so much money if you're sick? What's the point of, being famous, being very successful, but you can't have the life to enjoy it. So I think I've seen so many people, including myself, right? This is something I've learned. And it's something I've done myself, a mistake I've made myself, that I've sacrificed my health so much sometimes that I stop and I realize, I say, oh, hang on a second. I say, what am I doing all this for? At the end of the day, I'm doing all this for myself, for the people around me, for my family, so that I can enjoy it, so that I can have a great life. But if I'm sacrificing my health too much, then I start to wonder, hey, is it really worth it, And what I mean by that is just some really simple things. Like, I want to start with very basic stuff, like food. Like what you eat. I know people that know me know that I, care a lot about food, but I don't mean like, choosing good food or, going to expensive restaurants or, I don't mean that kind of stuff. I just mean eat right. I just mean eat on time. When I was starting out running my business, I used to be so busy that sometimes I eat at like 3 o'clock, and then, and I'll have dinner like at 9:30 p.m. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like, oh, you gotta have lunch at 12. You gotta have dinner at 6. It's not like that. I don't mean exactly that. It's okay that you have lunch a little bit later. It's okay to have dinner a bit later and things like that. But just be very aware, that health is wealth. That you don't want to be sick. There are people that, don't get enough sleep. If you are so stressed and you can't sleep well, then I think that's not really right. So here are a few basic stuff. I know you hear it all the time, but I just, think that it's worth mentioning. You should absolutely sleep well, because that recovers your brain, that recovers your body. You should eat well, right? Don't eat junk food like KFCs, McDonald's, and all that kind of shit. You should drink lots of water. And one other thing you absolutely should do is you should exercise. It doesn't have to be heavy, extreme exercises. Even just go for a walk, 3 times a week. Why is that so? Because it helps metabolism, it helps your body function. It's important. When you exercise, your brain works better, your body functions better, just everything gets better. So I think it's really, really important that if you want to lead people and you want to, be successful in life, in business, that you have a healthy life, and exercising is a big part of that. Okay? All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing you want to work on is this. Is your brain. This is the second thing you want to work on every day. Okay, what do I mean by that? As a leader, if you're tuning into this, you're probably a leader, leading someone, leading a team, leading a business, or even just leading yourself, right? You cannot lead people, you cannot continue to lead people effectively if you are not learning every day, if you're not improving. And I think your brain forms such an important part of who you are. And if you feed your brain something good every day, you become better every day. So what I mean by that is 2 different areas. Number 1, the way you can work on your brain is with information, right? Learn something, read about something. And you can do that by obviously reading, watching YouTube videos, documentaries, stuff like that, right? Or even just surfing the web, and not just for junk and, celebrity or gossip shit, but just, learning something. And that can be anything. That can be, you can be learning about, I don't know, leadership, sales, success, anything, right? Feed your brain with information that helps you improve. That's one. The second thing that you can work on your brain about is about positivity, about mentality, success, goal setting kind of thing. So your brain is like muscle, right? And your brain is also like your body. What you feed it is what you become. So if you feed your brain positive information, successful theories, and you train your brain to think, to fight, to be better every day, then your brain becomes stronger and you become stronger. So I think your brain is such an important part of you being a leader and you being successful. So do something, hey, good morning, do something to your brain positively every single day. Okay. The third thing you should be working on every day are your relationships. Right? Your relationships. Relationships with who? Families, friends, partners, your business partners, your team, you know, every day. You should work on that every day. Why? Because a healthy relationship is critical to a healthy life. And so it's not easy if your relationships are under stress or broken, right? And I mean that in all different ways, whether that's relationship with family or friends or your partners or even with your team. So you want to look at your relationships and you want to say, all right, which areas of my relationship need some work? And you can't possibly spend every day with friends and business and partners like every day. It's not possible, but you want to evaluate that area and say, all right, which part am I going to work on today? And what I mean by that is you want to spend quality time, not necessarily quantity time, like, okay, I'm going to spend like 3 hours, but just quality time. And what I mean by that is be there, be present. If you've decided that you want to spend maybe, a couple of hours with your mom and dad, be there. Don't be there and be on the phone and be doing something else. If you decided you want to spend a couple of hours with your kids, a couple of hours with your boyfriend or girlfriend, with your wife or husband, just be there. Like that. Make sure it's quality. Be present and be engaged in the conversation. Get to know their life, get to know what's going on. But don't be half in and half out. And I think that's really important. So having good relationships or healthy relationships is actually quite critical to your success. So identify the areas that probably need more work and go ahead and work on those, right? Every day. Okay, the next area you want to work on is this. Is your finance. Okay? That is the fourth area you want to work on every day. Let's be honest. I think we all need, well, not need, but we all want more money, right? So if for us to achieve our financial goals, one of the first things you actually need to do is to set one, right? For us to achieve our financial goals, you actually have to set one. Here's the funny thing. A lot of people that I've met, I've coached, I've trained, they don't have one. They don't have a financial goal. They don't have, you can't just say, I want to be rich. You can't just say, I want to have a big house and a big car. That's not enough because that's not the correct goal. You actually want a number. How much do you want to make in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? And then you break it down. I know you've heard about this, 5 years, 10 years, break it down to 1 year, break it down into per month, break it down to per day. So what is your goal this year? How much do you want to make this year? Or how much do you want to save? Or some people, you could translate that via a different thing. What do you want to buy? What do you want to get this year? Maybe a trip to this place, a trip to that place. Maybe you want to invest in this, you want to invest in that. Maybe you want to buy a car this year. Maybe you want to buy a house by next year. Something along those lines, right? So you can either put it as an actual number, or you can put it as a physical material goal, and then you can translate that goal into a number. I also want to talk about one of my experience, which is, sometimes there are things that you want to buy, or there are financial goals you want to achieve, or things you want to get, but maybe you can't afford it. Maybe it's just really expensive. Maybe it's a sports car, maybe it's a Porsche, maybe it's a Ferrari. Maybe it's a really expensive condominium, maybe it's an expensive house. Maybe it's a 1 month trip to Europe, or it's 15-day trip to the USA. So maybe some of these things are just really too expensive. Maybe it's a business class ticket, whatever, right? The fact that it's actually expensive, it's worth you checking it out. Because when you know you can't afford it, but you know how much it costs, you can actually start working out how to get it. Because that's how I started. When I first went into the Porsche showroom, or went to see really expensive properties, I realized that it was like, wow, this is like so expensive, like I can't afford it, but because I knew how expensive it was, how much it cost, and I started putting it down as a financial goal, I started working out on, okay, how can I afford it? It's so expensive, I can't afford it now, but what do I need to do, or how much would it take for me to get it? So then I started working it out in 3 years, in 4 years, and every year, if I do this, if I do that, if I achieve this level, if my business gets to that level, if my team can achieve that, then I can get that. So it's okay if some of the things that your goal that you set, you can't afford it now, but understand how much it costs, work it out, and break it down, and how can you get it? How can you get there? And I think that's something that you can work on every single day. The other thing I want to talk about in terms of just your financial goals is, I think you want to work on, developing high income skills. Because obviously if you've got big financial goals, you need, to make a lot of money. And to make a lot of money, you gotta have the ability to, you gotta have high income skills. And I say high income skills, there are lots of different high income skills. Two of them is relevant to what we do. Number one is obviously sales. Selling, the ability to sell is a high income skill, right? Ability to sell consistently every day, it's a high income skill. It's a skill that a lot of people don't have. The second skill, high income skill, is investing. So these are just two high income skills that you should learn and you should develop yourself into for you to achieve some of these financial goals. Okay, number 5. The number 5 thing you should work on every single day for you to have a wonderful life is you got to work on something you're not good at. Right? Something you're not good at. So every day, work on something you're not good at, right? Identify an area of yourself, of your life, that you feel that, hey, you know what, that needs improvement. Or, it's something I'm not really comfortable with. It's something I'm not familiar, or something I'm not great at, and challenge yourself, and that could be anything, right? It doesn't have to be relevant to what you do at work or your business. It doesn't necessarily have to be there, but it can be, right? It could be maybe you're not good at public speaking and you want to work on that. Maybe you're not at, planning ahead. Maybe you're just not a good planner, and you plan very short term. Maybe you want to work on that. Maybe you're not good at being focused for a long period of time. Maybe you want to work on that. Maybe you're not good at communicating ideas, messages. And maybe you want to work on that. Leadership, or even personal things like, personal skills, maybe dancing, singing, just pick something. Pick something that you feel you're weak at, but it's an area you feel that you should get better or you want to get better, then work on it. Why do I say this is important? Because when you work on something you're not good at, it makes you uncomfortable, right? It makes you nervous. And you are out of your comfort zone. But I find that's what makes every day have a bit of meaning. It makes you feel like alive, if you know what I mean. When you do the same thing every day and you know that you can do it and you're just good at what you do, you're just cruising. And you're not feeling nervous, you're not feeling uncomfortable. You're not challenging yourself. You're not pushing yourself to the limits. I don't know. That day just went past without a lot of meaning. But when you break out of your comfort zone and you do something you're just a bit nervous about, I think you just come alive, and that makes that day and that your life and that month, that year, your life just more meaningful, a bit more colorful, a bit more exciting, if you know what I mean. Now, at the end of, the day, the week, the month, when you've been working on something for a while, you will get better. And when you get better, guess what? You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel good and more confident about yourself. So it's actually a great thing to be working on something that you're not good at, right? So that's number 5. And the last thing that you should be working on every day to have a wonderful life is giving. Work on giving, right? What do I mean by that? See, in my opinion, we every day can only do 2 things. You either give or you receive. You know what I mean? That's the fact. So you're either giving to people, contributing to the society, contributing to the people around you, helping lift people up, or you're receiving. You're waiting for people to give to you. You're receiving motivation. You're receiving from the world. You're absorbing. And look, there's nothing wrong with receiving. There's nothing wrong with taking. I take every day from different people, from different things, but I also want to make sure that, hey, that I'm not just taking, that I'm not just receiving from the people around me. Like, oh, thank you. And I don't mean physical gifts. I mean emotional, intellectual, and a lot of other things. I receive every day. But I want to make sure that, hey, I don't want to be just receiving. I want to be giving. I want to give to people around me. I want to, and let me tell you what you can give. But let me get to that in a while. Like, I want to explain this very interesting phenomenon, right? And I'm sure some of you would feel the same way. In the past, I was very happy, when every time people give me something, right? Whether it's a present or a gift, whether it's my birthday or, just when they visit, Thailand, and then they, and we meet, and then people give me stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Oh, thank you so much. But here's the funny thing. When you give to people, when I bought something or thought of something for someone and I gave it to them, and the joy in their face, that surprise, that thanks, that appreciation, that feeling I get is actually way better than when I received. Right? Do you agree? Some of you will feel the same way, that you feel good when people give you something. But when you give and you see how people feel, you feel even better, right? So what are some of the things you can give other than actual presents and stuff, right? Of course, money. You can donate money. Time. You can give time. But other than money and time, which are the 2 very obvious things, you can give energy. Right? This is a funny thing. Give energy to people around you. People like energetic people. People like enthusiastic people. Influence the world with your energy. Passion. Give passion. Right? Share your passion with the people around you. Give gratitude. These are the things that sometimes we don't think of, but you can give. Right? Be thankful. Say thanks. Thank people for the little things. Thank you for being there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for understanding me. Thank you for not giving up. Just being grateful. Thank you for all the problems you give me, because that will make me a better person. Thank you for all the bullshit. Things like that, right? Thank you for your advice, right? Right. Sorry, not thank you for advice. Give advice, right? Give advice. Give help to people. Give forgiveness, right? So these are a lot of things other than money and 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 time that you could give. Because if you really think about it, there are so many things we could give, we could contribute, and we could share with people around us, right? And just to end it off, I think it is very important, however, that when I say give, we or you don't expect anything in return. Sometimes I know it feels a bit sad when you give and give and give, and not everyone appreciates it. Not everyone is thankful or sees what they get or sees the value in what they get. And sometimes we feel a bit hurt, that, oh, I've given you so much advice, I've given you so much help, you don't seem to appreciate it. I've given you so much time, you don't seem to care. I've given you so much of this and that, you don't seem to be thankful. But that's just it, like what we want to do for ourselves is to give with no expectation, and expect nothing in return. So, and that is something that we do for us, not for them. Okay. All right, great. So that's all we've got for today. I always keep these videos, as short and as sharp as possible. I was just, thinking, hey, to deviate a little bit from our usual success leadership stuff, just talk a bit about life and about what we could do every day. So these are the things, that I think of, that every day I try to focus on these things, and I try to work on these things for myself every day, and I wanted to share with all of you. Let me know what you think, and even after this video, you can still put in your comments, and if you agree with these 6 things, if there are 7, 8, 9 that you personally think that you work on, it would be great to share with the community. So fill it in the comment section that if it's other than these 6, there are other things that you want to contribute. I think that would be great. And if not, just let me know what you think. So let me just summarize the 6 things again. Let me just flip over and summarize the 6 things. Okay, so working on your health. Okay, so focus on your health every day. Make sure you're healthy. Otherwise, it's really pointless with all the money and the success you've got, and you're not healthy, you're sick all the time. Work on your brain, right? As a leader of people, of businesses, or even yourself, you want to make sure that you're learning, you're challenging yourself every day, you're growing so that you can continue to lead effectively. You want to work on your relationships, because healthy relationships means a healthy life and means that you can succeed better. And that is family, friends, partners, kids, your team, your people, just anyone around you. And you don't want to, have a broken or stressful relationship. Work on your finance. Obviously, everybody wants more money, and having a financial goal, knowing what you are supposed to achieve today, this month, this year, next 5 years is critical to having more money. You can't just say, I want more money. How much do you want? Work on something you're not good at. Breaking off your comfort zone makes you feel alive. Working on anything that, whether it's relevant to your business or not, public speaking, leadership skills, or even just your own things, being stronger, being fitter, being more focused. And the last thing, giving to people, not just money and time, giving help, giving advice, giving gratitude, and just sharing, giving energy, sharing with people around you, helping a community, and give with no expectation of anything in return. Okay, so, all right, everybody, this is it. Thank you all for tuning in, and as usual, I hope everything we've talked about helped you today. And if you like what you watched, of course, subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, the comment section, right? You know, what I really would like everybody to do is share with the community, you know, like tell everybody what you feel, not just watch, and you know, in line with giving, give back to everybody else that's coming on to watch after this. You know, and tell them what you think, you know, whether you agree with these 6 things, or you know, pick one of those things that you've been working on, or if you have 7, 8, 9, 10, please feel free to add it to the list. And that is it. There will be more videos coming your way, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Remember to work on those things starting today. Bye. Yeah, I will upload the recorded version, and I will add all the subtitles in. So just for those of you, you know, if you need translations, just give it a while. I will put in all the translations you need for Koreans, Indonesians, Japanese, Hong Kong, Taiwanese, everyone. I will make sure all the translations are up. Take care. Bye-bye.